What's going on, guys? JPP Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, and as requested, today's video is my reaction on the upcoming ban list towards the end of the month. Now, I have never done a reaction video ever, so hope you guys do enjoy this video. Before I go into the video, I would like to tell you guys that all my knowledge for the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, all my interaction comes from Master Duel itself. I have never been in touch with Yu-Gi-Oh franchise before Master Duel came out, so all my knowledge is limited into the 7 or 8 months I have played Master Duel. I am not like those big names for the Yu-Gi-Oh community out there that have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for years and have the intricate knowledge and everything to understand what this is going to do to the meta and everything. So this is just an opinion of a new player from getting all the knowledge from Master Duel. Now, I'm not saying I have not done my due diligence. I did my research, I did my due diligence since I started playing Master Duel. So I kind of know what I'm talking about, but take my opinion with a grain of salt compared to those other big names out there. Let's get on with the ban list. Now, the biggest thing that Konami is banning is the Crystron Halqifibrax. This card was an extremely toxic card that allowed people or any deck that can abuse it to go into an extremely oppressive field that usually you cannot out with meta cards. You would need specific targeted cards to out these fields that the Crystron Halqifibrax Aerodon combo set up. The biggest one being the Adventure Tenyi combo that utilizes this card. They end up with 3 or 4 Omnis and they just ruin your day. They take 6 or 7 minutes to finish their combo while you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs hoping you draw into an out or you outright surrender. You don't even want to play against this. So really grateful to Konami for banning the Crystron Halqifibrax. This is going to shift the meta, it's going to make the game more playable, and it's not going to just be an interaction that where you sit there going second and just hope your opponent cannot do full combo if you have no hand traps. Now, there's an argument out there saying that the Auroradon ban would have been better over the Crystron. Konami did not ban the full combo, they just banned the Crystron part, they did not ban the Auroradon part of the combo. So they're saying that if you can go into Auroradon, you are open to do those nasty combos again, but it takes away the convenience of the combo and the consistency itself, how easy it was to go into the combo and how conveniently you could go into the combo as well. So it's going to take away all that. Granted, there is still the Tomahawk combo into the Auroradon combo. People still can do that, but again, it's not convenient, it's not consistent. So it will allow us to play the game more now. It will allow us to enjoy the game more. Next up, we have the Enchantress being limited to 1. Now, Konami set a precedent with releasing the adventure by already semi-limiting it on release. So there was only 2 Enchantress, 2 right coming out instead of the usual 3 that Konami released for each cards, because they knew how busted this combo was and how many decks it could splash into, and it will make those decks busted. They had the experience in the other formats, I believe in the OCG, so they still released it as semi-limit. Now they're limiting Water Enchantress to 1. What's going to end up happening, in my opinion, is that people will either play the adventure combo or they will entirely drop the adventure combo. Because think about this, you still have the Foolish Burial to act as a second Enchantress. Foolish Burial sends the Enchantress to the graveyard, you activate Enchantress, get full adventure combo. That means you're going to be having 4 cards to get the adventure combo going instead of the usual 5 or 6 if you hard draw into your Griffin plus the Faithful Adventure. So there is still the usage there, but people might switch out the adventure saying that since the Enchantress is at 1, we are not going to get the draw consistently. Maybe they want to add in some different engine in there, so it's going to open up a lot more things out there. Up next, we have the semi-limited cards. The Rivalry of Warlords and Gozen Match being the primary cards that people are extremely happy that they are getting semi-limited. Now, the Rivalry of Warlords limits you into one type of monster on the field only, and Goza Match limits you into one attribute of monster only on the field. These two floodgates are extremely oppressive if they are allowed to be on the field. They kill off meta decks completely. Imagine a situation where your opponent sets down one card, passes their turn. You're imagining if you have a goat hand, you're about to destroy that guy in one single turn. They flip over either of these cards and you cannot do anything about it, and your whole turn or whole game in that matter, if you cannot interact with their back row, fizzles out because of this floodgates. Now, I'm not saying this is ideal because putting them at semi-limit does not affect the back row set decks that much, because they will just end up running more floodgates. Example would be the anti-spell Fragrance. It would kill a lot of meta decks as well. So this is, I would say, a right step towards the path Konami is taking. I would say just ban out these cards altogether or put them at 1. Putting them at 1 would help out the meta extremely. It would take away a lot from the back row meta, because limiting them at 1 means that they need to hard draw into these cards to put them on the field. Otherwise, they're not coming back on the field. And if you destroy these cards, and if they have no way to put them back on the field, they're gone. It should be like that in my opinion, but it's only my opinion. Konami does what Konami does, and we deal with it. Up next, we have the biggest change coming up is the Raigeki, the Dino Vesrel, Prankertops, and the Red Reboot going up to 2 from 1. These 3 cards were limited before, they're going up to semi-limit, so each card is going up to 2. These are extreme go second cards. These 3 cards, if you draw into them going second, it helps you to push past your opponent's board extremely efficiently. Raigeki being the board breaker card, Red Reboot being the deny your opponent a trap and then completely cannot activate traps, Dino Wrestler being your out to monsters that you do not want to deal with, or back row set, anything, right? Really great go second cards. In my personal opinion, this is another right step towards the path Konami is making, because currently in the meta, Master Duel being a best of 1 on the ladder, if you win coin toss, usually you win games. If you lose coin toss, if you cannot stop your opponent's turn, or if your opponent bricks, if that does not happen, you outright lose the game. I would say 70% of the time, people winning coin toss wins. 30, they just outright lose. So it's a big ratio from winning coin toss and losing coin toss to winning games and losing games. With this, it might fix that ratio. I'm not saying it's going to fix the ratio just then on the release, but again, it's a thing that people can utilize now to go into that step of, even if you go second, you can still win games. So in my opinion, really great job on that. Now, Trishula, I would say, again, not that great of a utilized card. Yeah, some decks utilize it, Ice Barrier utilizes it, and I've seen that in 6 Samurais where they just get rid of the whole hand or something. Not too sure about the Trishula on being the semi-limit. Let's see how it affects the meta going forward. The Wind-Up Carrier, Zenmaedi, again, I have never ran into a deck that plays this card, so I cannot give you my opinion on this. I believe not anyone plays this deck. I mean, probably like 6 or 7 people, I would assume, play this deck, because again, it's not consistent. So this going up to 2, maybe we'll see more play from this, can't be too sure. ABC Dragon Buster, now I know this card, I have played against this deck before, and a lot of times I have played against this deck. So this going up at 2 will encourage people to play this deck more, I would say. Not that great, not that consistent, but people still might play it. Let's see how this goes. Now, much love to Trickstar on the Trickstar Light stage. I'm really happy about this. Some of my viewers do play Trickstar, and I find Trickstar a really good deck because of the way it interacts with your opponent. You either kill them through a burn or something, or you kill them through some other sort of concept. But the burn concept I like very much. So again, much love to Trickstar. We went over the Red Reboot and the Dino Wrestler. Now this is the card I'm worried about. The Spiral Quick Fix going from limited to semi-limited. I don't know what Konami is imagining will happen because soon the Illusion of Chaos is getting released, which is a big buff to the Spiral deck. These guys can hand loop you extremely consistently, so let's see how it's going to affect the meta once the Illusion of Chaos is released. And I have played into Spirals before, even with the quick fix I want, even without the Illusion of Chaos, I have been looped, I have lost against them, even though I had a bunch of hand traps. So let's see how it's gonna go. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. The Double Iris Magician, again, much love to the Magician's Pendulum, they deserve it, so I'm happy about the Double Iris coming up, going into semi-limit from limit. The Orcus Harp Horror, again, it's love towards the Orcus deck. Now, this is another thing I'm worried about because Orcus decks, they can play through a bunch of hand traps if you do not know their choke points. Even if you nib them and they have combo extension afterwards, which usually they do, they can push past the nib because they have combo extensions from the graveyard, not from in hand or on field. So I'm worried about this, but let's see how this affects the meta. Harp Horror going from limited to semi-limited, again, we'll see about it. Now, the cards being unlimited are the beginning of the end. I mean, this card is only used for, I believe, dangers, where you banish 5 and draw 3. No other decks use this, like Dark, banish 5, draw 3. So I'm okay with that. And Harmonizing Magician, again, much love for the Pendulum decks, so I am extremely okay with this. Now, I'm not saying this ban list is good or bad. I mean, I would say if I have to rate the ban list, I would say Konami is taking a step towards the right path with this ban list. If it was up to me, I would take away the Auradon with the Crystron as well, take away that whole toxic combo altogether. I would take away the Floodgates as well, but again, Konami is trying to see how this affects the meta. Again, the branded Despia meta coming in right now, 50% plus of the ladder is going over to the branded, and the branded engine is splashable into multiple different decks, but it is actually more playable against Despia over the boards that the Helfki Fibrax set up. So I'm extremely happy about this ban list. So those are my thoughts on this ban list. Let me know if you think differently in the comment section below. And again, if you guys do enjoy this, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more prank kit video uploads. And if you guys want more of these kinds of uploads, do let me know in the comment section as well. I will be uploading my video of a reaction to how this will affect the prank kits in the future after the ban list is implemented towards the end of the month. So stay forward and look out for that. This is JPB Duel signing out for today. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!